but the chiefs and people of Aflao are also unhappy with President Akufo-Addo's response to their paramount chief, Togbe Ajonugaga Amenya Fiti. The chief had issued an ultimatum to the Education Ministry to operationalize and abandon E-Block Community Day Senior High School in the area. The school, which is about 90% complete, has 26 classrooms in 5 departments, including a science block. But the projects are stalled since 2016. Togbe Ajonugaga Amenya Fiti, speaking to the minority side on the Education Committee, demanded the operationalization of the school by the next academic year.
After senior high education, primary to the senior high education, the next degree that my people have to do is to go to border and go and do what? Cairo. No school. The only school that we have again is the RC Senior High School that belongs to the Catholic Mission. It's now what? A minor seminary. So this thick population have no place to go. And people sit down in that big hall called Parliament without thinking of Aflao. A place after the Tema Harbor, the next revenue generation is from Aflao border. It's from Aflao border. And I have to push the former President Mahama for that structure to be what? Constructed over there. I have to be running from here to Accra. Begging. Should we beg for education? No. Then something's happening. If we have to beg for education before our what? People can go to school, then I don't know what is called a democracy at all. And look at the structure standing over there. 90% finished. 100%. Yes. Now the teams are having their full days again, going there, removing everything at will. Now, in the era of the MPP now, we have the free senior high education. And my people are not benefiting because the school is not here. I'm sure by next year, February, school, new entrants will go to school. So your coming here is the redemption to the suffering people of Aflao. It's a redemption, really, to the suffering people of Aflao. That carry this message to the Minister of Education, that come February, I want this school to be open. Yes, February. First batch.
In an interview with P7, the president responded to the concern of the chief. Here's what he said.
Many of them. I think I'll find an opportunity to tell you that many of them are being worked on across the country.
Let me just take one, Mr. President. The one in Aflao where the chief himself has complained. Aflao Pacha say E-Block no oba yenya hoshi. Inti my education minister up to February say oba yehu bibi. It's an say
minister ultimatum.
Also abre.
And you go here.
Inti obisa no there maybe out of frustration maybe okasa.
As much as possible. I've given you these examples to let you see that, on the contrary, despite the propaganda, because one of the things that I suspect there's a deficit on our part is our ability to counter the propaganda. The propaganda takes over the reality of so many aspects of our national life. It's a pity, but we'll continue.
So the MP for Ketu South, Ablajva Gumashi, has been reacting to what the president said in response to what the Aflao chief has said. Let's hear her too.
I do not know what happened to President Akufo-Addo in that studio. I am so hurt, because as a custodian of our culture and heritage, public speaking should not be spoken to the way our president says. In the same place, I will not support or I will not speak disrespectfully towards him. This, as he says in the Jojo, one can hear cry, Mr. President. One can hear cry. The way you spoke to the chief is unacceptable. It's marks of intolerance. It's marks of not digesting what the man said. Let me just ask a simple question. I use Sophia as reference about these long messages. Your response should have been, perhaps, that I'll take a look at it. Why should the president speak to the paramount chief the way he did? How many paramount chiefs can implement the president speaking like that? How many of the chiefs in this country? How many chiefs in this country can be implementing the president speaking like that? Who in this country that will not accept that we have a problem with accommodation for our students? Who in this country doesn't know that? This is not going to end. The caucus came here. I took them to Sunday City because he's as concerned as I am. We will file a question in Parliament. We will demand that the schools that are 90%, 95%, 60%, each stage that we left it at, it should be done.
Right, there have been several other reactions, but the one that I want to bring to you is the Akufo-Addo. He's also reacted to that, and he says we don't pay our taxes to the Aflao chief. Let's get into the comment itself, or the quotes that we have from him. It says, as president, you don't use this intemperate language. So he first described the president's submission as inappropriate. It says, you don't use this intemperate language when a legitimate call has been made by a chief who's passionate about the development of his people, particularly their education. You know, the MP reacting to that. We'd also get to open the phone lines so that those of you, activate the phone lines so that those of you who are watching can have a say on any of the issues that has come up. So first, it has to do with what the president had to say to the chief of Aflao, and then the apology and the fact that, well, let's have a conversation about building a harbor in Cape Coast if we're having a port at Elmina. So yes, let's get to hear from you. So call us on the numbers. The numbers are going to be on your screen right now. Just give us a call and let's get to hear from you. But this is the AM show, and which I always say is all about you. So the numbers are on your screens right now. You can join the conversation, any of the issues that's happening. In fact, any of the fallouts of the president's interview with Peace FM. So one of them being the issue of LGBTQI+. Then there's also the issue of the 499 students who were seeking to get admission into the Ghana School of Law. The president has had to speak about that as well. And then the president also touched on the issue of Cape Coast Harbour, then the Keta issue. Of course, the Keta issue too, we've had a number of reactions coming in. We've had the MP for Ketu South, Ablan Chifanko Machine, speak to that. And then we also had, so we have our first call actually. We have Edu calling from Siamang. Hello, Edu.
Today,
yeah,
giving him the mandate to develop the nation, and education is very key in nation building or the success of a nation. So for him to direct the chief to go and complete the program is uncalled for. The chief has no resource. We don't pay tax to this chief, but I also see the president was trying to just crack some jokes for his program to be lively. Yeah, that's my take. So
okay, so
we should take it easy, but the president should go and then complete that program, that project, but that is his mandate.
So for you, what the president had to say to the man, as you feel that he probably was just saying something just to make
it he should have avoided that. And then for him to look good in the eyes of the people, that is his mandate. So he should go and complete the project.
All right, thank you very much, Edu calling from Siamang. And the phone numbers are on your screen, 030-221-1691 or 2. Give us a call. Let's get to hear from you on any of the issues that we've been talking about this morning. And all that the president has had to say following that interview that he had with Peace FM. He had on Peace FM with Kwame Sefakai. We also have Kwabna calling Yes. Hello, Kwabena. Hello, Kwabena.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so which of the issues you do want to touch on?
Yes, about the president's comment.
Yeah, which one exactly?
Yes, about the chief. What happened? I wanted to know what happened before the president replied in that manner.
Oh, you've not been following. So the chief of Aflao is saying that he expects that the education minister would finish the abandoned E-Block in his community by February.
But I'm sure the chief gave the president an ultimatum.
Well, he was making reference more to the education minister.
Yes, but the chief, I don't think the manner in which he spoke was right.
But do you think the manner the president responded was also right?
It's not right, but the chief. Sometimes we do not look at the cause, but we look at the reaction. That's my problem.
Okay. So that's your take on it. Right. Thank you very much, Kwabena, calling from Mamprobi. Well, Kwabena feels that the chief shouldn't have spoken the way he spoke by giving an ultimatum. But yes, you must also understand, Kwabena, that yes, a chief who sees a project that he believes can benefit his people. And he talks about how he's fought for the work to be continued and how he fought for the project to come, or lobbied for the project to come to his community in the first place. And so you can imagine that he's very, very passionate about it. Now, Frimpong is calling from Tantra Hill. Hello, Frimpong.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, so I want to talk about the response the president made to the chief.
All right.
In fact, it is, for lack of better word, it is very irresponsible. I think that the president needs to understand that the chief does not collect the taxes of the Ghanaian people. When the president was in opposition as a fact bearer, nobody asked him to go and complete the community-based schools. It is his responsibility to complete them. So I'll urge the president to get up his way of doing things and make sure that our taxes are used in a very special way for the best benefit of all the needs, not the only few family and country.
Now, there are those who say that maybe the president was just making a light situation of the matter and that he really didn't mean...
Not at all. Because I was even expecting from Bakan to draw the president's attention that he is the chief who rules over thousands of people. And once he makes that statement, it means that the people whose rules are especially him. For instance, he said that if people are not benefiting from the free education just because that school is not completed. So let's all imagine that even if we have 1,000 students on his catchment area who are enrolled into this school, it means that these people are going to benefit from it. And if the president is frustrated, he should just tell Ghanaians that no, this job that I'm doing, I'm getting frustrated. Because of that, maybe I cannot continue. I'll step down. But these responses are very, very irresponsible.
All right, thank you very much. We have Ernest also calling us. Hello, Ernest.
Israel.
Yes.
Yes, for me, I don't know where our health minister got his inspiration from, sincerely. I mean, it is very clear. It isn't meticulous. He knew he was going to make reference to a particular document. He read, and halfway through, he decided to stop. Okay? And what would we find ourselves in this mess, total mess?
So your issue is with the Cape Coast Harbour Promise.
I'll deal with that of Aflao as well. I'll deal with that. Okay? So sincerely, no wonder we are in a mess. He knew he was going to make reference to the document. And halfway through, he decided to stop. And then he went there. I mean, that is not a mistake. That description, I mean, it was a lie. He lied. He lied. Because it be an honest one. This isn't. This isn't. Now, to Aflao, please, do you honestly believe that the president could speak to Amotia Oforepeni in this manner? Do you honestly believe so? It is clear he has no respect for the chief. He has no respect for him. If he did, he wouldn't speak in that manner.
All right.
I mean, the chief only wanted what was good for his people.
Yes.
I mean, it was that big. Okay? All he needed to do was, well, chief, you know, we'll attend to you. We'll ensure the whole thing is done, is completed.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry. Because I seriously don't see the president speaking to other chiefs in that manner. Sincerely, I don't.
All right. All right, thank you.
Respectful.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ernest, for sharing your thoughts with us. We have Divine calling from near Brem. Hello, Divine.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. I think the president goofed this time around. And that statement he made, especially in respect of the Aflao issue, is most unfortunate. I think the best thing for the president to do is to sincerely apologize to the people of the Volta region and to the people of Ghana. In fact, to be frank with you, as made by the earlier caller, I don't think the president can make this statement in the Ashanti region, for instance, because during his tour of the region, he met with a lot of chiefs who complain about abandoned projects in their education. But the president, rather, in a very sober manner, pleaded with them that the projects will be completed. Why this time around? In fact, I think this is one of the reasons why we have these secessionist groups in the Volta region, because it shows gross disrespect to the people of the Volta region. And I think the president must apologize. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Divine. Divine called us from near Brem. We have Theophilus. He's calling from the USA. Hello, Theophilus. I believe you're watching us on YouTube.
Yes, please, I am.
Okay. Where in the US are you calling from?
I'm calling from Connecticut, please.
Okay. So let's hear you out, Theophilus. Hello, Theophilus. All right, we seem to have lost Theophilus. We would have loved to hear you, especially because you're calling from the US and you're watching us on YouTube. So do call us back if you can, because we'd like to hear what you have to say about the issues that we're discussing this morning. We have Daniel also calling us. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Mr. Lai,
yes.
I think we've left the roots of the whole cause. Why the president responded in the manner that he did.
Okay.
You know, some of us have been advocating for chiefs to be apathetic. They shouldn't participate in political activity. They should watch their utterances. But this chief has an habit, continuous, habitual, of whenever he had a platform with the former president, he always, everybody will see where he belongs to. You see? And as a sitting president, he will be heard. That's the truth. He's a human being. He will be heard. Because as a chief, we don't have to say to the, I remember, I know you have the records also. We will give you 100,000 each coming election. Last election, we didn't do well, but this election, I promise you, will not go beyond below 100,000. All these things. So the president also, I'm very sure the thing wasn't within him. So you just feel it out. Even though I don't agree with it 100%, but that is the root cause.
Okay.
This is what we have to check. The chiefs and the kings, they should not involve themselves in partisan politics.
So you make reference to this chief and
this chief.
but I also have so you've mentioned stuff that he said against or that are not complimentary, but then I also have some headlines that I can share with you. I have him says you forever be remembered, Aflao Paramount Chief tells Akufo-Addo. There's another one. You've turned around Mohammed's ailing economy. Aflao's Togbe Fiti hails Akufo-Addo. So you can't say that he's always going against.
If at that time he is talking about the policy of this current government.
So you can't. On what basis are you saying that he's partisan if he's also spoken this way in the past?
When he says that we will give you 100,000 votes.
Yeah.
Look at it. We will give you 100,000 votes. Specific. Talking about election.
Okay, all right.
You understand? But this one is just elucidating the policies of this current government.
Okay.
Of which maybe it might be the senior high school, and they have been complaining that it's paramountly the area, the Aflao area is choked. The children they don't have school to go. Their parents don't have money to pay for their school. So if the policy is now benefiting its constituents, you are the hand. So he was just praising the policy.
All
He's
right,
not saying that we hand. So that is it. So we should advise. We check that thing.
Okay.
The way sometimes he has been too partisan, and that is the truth. Even when this parliamentary caucus went to him, you just monitor the way he's talking.
All right.
So
Thank you. Can we hear from someone else? Okay. So we have Collins calling from Charlotte. Hello, Collins.
Yeah, it's Kobe rather.
Kobe. All right. Good.
Yes. Thank you. My issue has to do with our politicians. They come to us, I think, begging us to give them more to office as president and ministers. They come into power, request for them to do something for us, and then they tend to disrespect us at the end of the day. It's very unfair because we pay the taxes, and at the end of the day, we require certain things to be done for us. So it's very uncalled for the people who come to us and beg us to vote for them and employ them into office, high office. We don't make us care and then begin to disrespect them. That is by you. It's very unfortunate. I've never contributed on any religious picture. But then listening to the president and the minister during the interview was very uncalled for. I don't think this is that he will do this to that Swahili.
So Kobe,
it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, Kobe. So how will the president's posture and the way you say the politicians behave, how will that inform the way you approach the next election? Come 2024, how differently are you going to behave because of this?
For me, seriously, I've lost interest in all our politicians, the NDC, the MPP. I've lost total confidence in them because they tell us they're going to do this. We put them into power. We demand for them to fulfill their promises. Sometimes they tend to disrespect us and say things that are quite insulting in a way. And for me, I don't see the reason why I should go vote for either of these parties. And for me, I don't see why, because they say the same thing. I call them others. They come, they repeat the same mistake over and over again. The only difference is you did better than me or you did worse than I did. That's the only difference between them. If it comes to corruption, you are worse than I was.
What's the alternative, Kobe?
For me, the alternative would be a better party who will stand out. I have my belief in Kwame Nkrumah. In actual fact, Kwame Nkrumah is the only 15 years we've had as a president in Ghana. For me, if God could give us a grace of having a person, the person who can think into the future and not only think about the present, not think about what they're going to gain now, and think about the future, our unborn children, and plan to the future. That's the person I'll go and vote for. But few people who think about today and what they will get out of them being voted in. I time,
go and queue and knowing that they're just going to come and do the same thing again. For me, it's really unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
All right. All right, thank you very much, Kobe. Kobe called us from Ashale Boche, and thank you to all of you who have called in. We'll take our last caller, and it's Maxwell. He's calling from Kumasi. Hello, Maxwell. Hello, Maxwell. All right, we have lost Maxwell, but how I wish that caller from the USA would call back, because I really wanted to hear what he had to say to us. But yeah, you're watching the AM show. We're taking a break. We'll be back with you in a bit. Stay tuned in.